Hello guys, welcome to the fourth lecture of Cursor for Beginner series. Okay, and in this video we'll talk about the various development workflows that happens during coding in Cursor. Okay, so let's quickly see the overview of this lecture. What we're gonna do, we'll learn how AI can debug and refactor code for us. We'll start with a small fix in a particular script, and then we'll see how to fix runtime errors, fix bad code, refactoring, and also search code, right? So these are things we'll try to demonstrate using Cursor. And the reason we should do these small things is because it builds confidence before we start building the bigger project. So these are the essentially the kind of features that Cursor supports in the different workflows that happens while development. Okay, so let's quickly see. So we'll also try to fix this with AI. So we'll highlight a faulty line and then we'll ask Cursor for fix. We can also add terminal output to guide AI. And this cycle is very important in Cursor, right? So basically you see some code and then you find that, okay, this is where the fix, this is where the error could be. You select it and then basically you select that code to get it to the chat interface of Cursor. And then you ask Cursor to fix it and then run the code. Okay, now let's quickly go back to Cursor. And this was actually the last application we built. Actually, our first application is Cursor. So now we are going to do is we are going to open a new window, right? And let's quickly zoom this. And every time what we do, we basically, while opening a project, we create a new folder in the desktop or basically wherever we want, right? So I'm going to call this Python, not this, desktop. And we are going to create a new folder. Let's call this Python multiples. Okay, so I'm going to create this folder and open it inside Cursor so that Cursor knows, hey, all of the things regarding AI that it has to do inside this directory. Okay, so this is the folder that is open. I'm going to create a new file. We'll call this multiples.py. And what I'm going to do is I'm going to write a very simple function where I have to calculate the sum of multiples of 3. So let's do this. So def is how you can define a function. What I'll do is I'll collapse this left panel so we have more coding space here, and then we will say sum of multiples of 5. Okay, and then we pass a number to this, right? And then what we're going to do is we're going to start with sum is equal to 0. Then we go through each number in range from 1 to number. Is basically a loop running between 1 to a number, right? So if you have 1 to 7, so 1 2 3 4 5 6 7 till this it is going, right? And I think number is not inclusive, so we're going to just add 1 here. Okay, and then we say if I mod 0, if I mod 5 is equal to 0, then we're going to say sum is equal to sum plus I, and then we return the sum. Okay, and see how amazingly Cursor was kind of giving the hints to us as well. And this basically the I runs from 1 to number, right? Not inclusive this number. Okay, so this is the function that we have written now. And what I'm going to do is I'm going to I don't want this one to be output like this, but instead I'm going to say, hey, sum of multiples of 5 will be this, and then we do plus sum multiples 5 of 1000, right? And why is it adding a string? I don't want this. I'm gonna delete this. Okay, so what I'm going to do is I'm going to run this code and let's see what does it work or not, right? So I'm going to start a new terminal and let's clear this. So we'll say Python 3 and then multiples.py. So let's run this code. And we have an error, right? So basically it's saying type error, can only concatenate string, not int to str. Whatever it's saying, I don't care about it. I'm just going to ask us to fix it. So what I'm also saying is file this line 10 is where we're getting the error. So what I'll do is I'll select this text, okay, and then I'll say add to chat, and I'll say I am getting the error, and I'll just paste this error, right? So this is the error we are getting. So let's copy this and paste it here on this line, right? So line is already added as a context inside this, so I don't have to write that on line 10 again. Okay, so I'm just gonna enter here and let's see what Cursor does for us. So this is how basically I can just select some lines and ask Cursor that, hey, maybe this is where my error could be, so could you check and fix that? So yes, so Cursor has done this, open file exact line causing the type error, and It's doing a lot of things, but it's actually a very small fix. But yeah, let's see. So it has put it inside of some kind of formatting function. So let's keep it. Then we'll see whether it's working or not. Now looks like it has fixed it. So now let's run this. So Python 3 multiples of py, and yes, we did got the output this time, right? So this is how it fixed it. Let me just command Z this and we'll say undo, right? So what I'm going to do is let's run this again. Okay, so when I run this code again, what you see here is that I can straight away copy the error from the terminal itself, right? So I can just say add to chat, and it has added the chat. The terminal is kind of added as a context here, right? So can I move this? Can I move this? Let me check. Yes, I can move this. And this is where the error is, right? This is basically terminal selection from line 1 to 6. This is already added as context here. So I'll just say, please fix this, right? So now let's see what cursor does. So cursor is basically now having this error as a context, and it will try to fix this inside the file as, right? So let's see. Okay, so cursor was able to do this. So basically it was able to take this terminal as an input and was able to figure out that this is where it has to fix the error. This is also very cool, right? So I'm going to accept this, and then let's run the code now. And this time it ran fine, right? So this is how you can also fix the code. Okay, so now let's go back to our slides and let's move ahead. So now we can also do some refactoring with cursor, right? So AI not only improves our working code, which is like fixing bugs, helps in debugging, but it also helps in improving or basically refactoring the code. Let's do this refactoring. So what I can do is I'm going to copy this, right? And then I'm going to paste this, and I'm going to say sum of multiples of 3. So let me put my terminal down so we have more space. So this will be terminal, this will be multiples of 3, and I'm going to do the sum for 3. And then what I'm going to do, copy this and then paste it here. Now I'm going to do multiples of 7, and this will be 7, right? So this is fine. Then what I can do is copy this, paste, right? So I can do sum of multiples of 3 and sum of multiples of 7. Right, so what I'm doing, I'll just tell you. Let me just quickly do a few setup, and then now if I run this Python 3 multiples.py, so this is what, okay, so this should be 5, 3 and 7. So I'll do, this will be 3, this will be 7, right? So let's run this again. Where is my terminal? Okay, so now run this. It is running fine, right? So let me just move this out. Now what I wanted to do here is, guys, I wanted to I just saying this sum is equal to 0, sum is equal to 0, sum is equal to 0. This is also running through a loop, running through a loop, running through a loop. So I feel like that this could be refactored into one function, right? So maybe one function that takes the number as an input, right? And also the factor as an input. And then based on that factor, it can calculate the multiples of that factor from the range of the numbers, right? So what I'm going to do is I'm just going to copy the entire file and paste it here. So it is kind of, it doesn't paste the code here in prompt, but instead paste that as a context here. Okay, so what I'm going to do is I'm going to say refactor the 3 multiples function to just one function. Okay, so let's see what cursor does. I think that it should do something like this: sum, multiples, number and factor. So let's see what cursor is going to do. Okay, so it has done this, and this is what it has done, right? Sum, multiples, number, multiple. So I'll say yes, keep, and yes, keep, and then accept this. And yeah, so this is what our code is now. And if we run this code, let's open our terminal again. So we can say Python 3 multiples py, and it runs the same. The output is the same. And this is so good, right? I don't have to refactor the entire thing manually, which would have taken me like 5 to 10 minutes at least, and fixing all the errors. And this cursor has done it very fast for us. Okay, so not only just refactoring, and also optimize your logic a lot with cursor. We're not going to do that in this lecture, but we'll definitely do this when we'll be building complex projects. Okay, so let's move ahead. And one more thing I want to do is search code efficiently. Okay, and there are two kinds of searches that happen via cursor at least, which has AI enabled inside. One is the keyword search, or also called as literal search or exact match kind of a search, right? Which you must have been familiar with searching in VS Code. Another search is called a semantic search, or also called as natural language queries. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to open my Node.js project that we built earlier. So let's open that. And let's say we were in package.json, or basically let's say we are in app.js, right? So what we're going to do, we can do this kind of a search like express, and it has given us a lot of things, but I really wanted to check the dependencies here. So basically this is what the one. But it has given me 11 results in 4 files, right? And what I wanted to do was like express in package.json. This is the search I wanted to do. Okay, so let's see how you would go about doing this search in using the cursor AI. So let's remove these guys, don't need them. Now what you're going to do is say to cursor search for express package in package.json. Not like this, but we're going to say where is express package coming from? Why, how is it getting installed, right? So you can not only do semantic search but also ask questions to cursor. So let's see, where is express coming from and how is it getting installed? So let's say what express gets us for this query. Short answer, the express package defined package.json and the dependencies as express this, and then you got a lot of information, right? So I can click on this package.json, and here I can see the express also marked as, right? Either here also it is kind of highlighted that this is where it's coming from. Okay, so this was about semantic search in cursor. Like I didn't do anything, but I just put my query, like I had some doubt in mind and cursor was able to understand my query. Okay, so that is it for this video, guys. I don't and in the next video we'll do a little more basics of cursor, and then we'll start building some projects. See you soon. Bye.